Welcome back to my channel. I can't believe it is now time to pick my October TBR. We are officially going into spooky season, so I'm hoping, I'm filming this a little bit earlier than I should be, hence there's not as many decorations out yet, but I have got my pumpkin t-shirt on just so we get the feels. I have a lot of books on this TBR, on this cart should I say. I have a lot of books behind me that I still need to be read. I've got 150 plus books now, but I think these books that are on here are either books that are in the middle of series I'm in the middle of, that's a bit of a mouthful, or they're just books that I really want to get to during this time of year. You probably can't see all the ones across the bottom, but I would say, although there are some down there, the focus would be the ones on the top two shelves more so. But we will see what we pull in the jar. I am going to go for I've got a few videos planned. I've started planning videos out in advance, which is great because it just means that you're going to see videos more consistently. However, I'm trying to think, I do have some that I would like to get on. So I'm thinking, although I don't ever hit all my TBR, would it be worth me picking 8 and then it gives me a bit of variety, plus it might help towards the videos I'm planning on recording. That's a problem for me and not for you. So I think with that, I will pick 8 for October. I know we have October half term as well in there for a week, but I was hoping to get to Queen of Shadows by Sarah J Maas. So I'm just thinking, do I pick 8? No, we'll go with 8 and hopefully I'll be able to get Queen of Shadows in as well. Right, enough of me rambling, because we've been talking for like 2 minutes already. And we'll just get on with the first pull. So the first prompt is a book with a 3-word title. So let's have a look. You may also have noticed, just quickly, I have got some new books added on. I did say when I'd done my 66 books trip and I actually went away on holiday in August, I picked up some more books which I thought would be suitable. So you'll see them on here that you might not have seen before. But let's get back to the prompt. So it's a 3-word title. Let's see what options we have. So we do have Queen of Shadows, which would be perfect. Is there any others? We've also got The Kiss Curse, which is one that I am really wanting to get to. So I'm going to go between these two because these are ones that I really want to get to in October. And I think for this one, I'm going to choose The Kiss Curse purely because, like I say, I've got some videos planned, so this will be perfect. So for a book with a 3-word title, we're picking The Kiss Curse by Erin Sterling. If you don't know about this book is the second book in the, I think it's called the Graves Glen series. The first book was The Ex-Hex. The Ex-Hex, I think I rated it about 3 or 3.5 stars. Lots of people love that one, and I did enjoy it, and I think I enjoyed it more towards the end, as sometimes that's just what happens. But then I saw this really cheap and I thought I might as well just pick it up and see where we go from there. So I don't want to tell you anything about the back because it is the second book in a series and I think it follows on. So yeah. Right, book number 2 is we'll go with this one. It is a book with vampires or werewolves in it. Perfect. What a book for October. So straight away we can put on The Songbird and the Heart of Stone. Have we got any others? I'm just going to take these off here a minute and pop them back on the cart because they're all falling down. Witches or werewolves? Is it witches? No, vampires, sorry. Vampires or werewolves. I have actually got books on the back as well. So let's have a look. Some of these I don't know. So you're probably going to be shouting at me saying that one's got a vampire in it. But vampire or werewolf? Well, obviously another one would be... So I've got two to choose from. So let's see. So we have Filthy Rich Vampire by Geneva Lee. This is book 1 in the Filthy Rich Vampire series. There's 4 books in total. I've bought this set a long time ago and just not got round to it. Or we do have, which is continuing a series, The Songbird and the Heart of Stone. But I think because I haven't got the second book to this duet yet, I am going to go with Filthy Rich Vampire and start yet another series. Right, let's go with a book with vampires or werewolves in it. And we've gone for Filthy Rich Vampire. This just says, Julian has a problem. He's single and for the world's wealthiest vampires, the social season is about to begin. Julian would rather stake himself than participate in the marriage market. But as the eldest, most eligible, he's expected to find a wife before the season ends, whether he likes it or not. So I'm not going to read much more. There's quite a bit on the back, but that's just a little inkling of what the story's going to be about, so I'm looking forward to that one. So that's book number 2. Book number 3 is a grey cover. So I don't know if I've got any grey covers. Oh, I suppose the only one we can go with, let's just check the back. Grey. No, I think the only one that we can technically say has got grey on the cover or has a grey cover is The Songbird and the Heart of Stone. There's a lot of grey on this, so as it ends up I am going to be reading this book if I can get around to it. But yeah, I haven't got the second book in the Shadowborn duet. This is book 1. I need book 2. I think it's out now. This is, I'm not going to go into this again. This is part of the Crowns of Nyaxia world. And I've read a few books in that series already. If you go back and watch my videos, you will see constantly I talk about this series all the time. I really enjoy them. So yeah, this is going to be the 3rd book on the October TBR for a book with a grey cover. This one follows, I think it's Misha's story. Yeah, follows Misha's story, so I'm not going to read too much because I don't want to spoil anything for anybody else. So that's book 3. Book number 4. I think we're doing really well with the October vibes, actually, to be fair, with them books as well. We've got read a book that you've had, read a book that you've had for a long time. So, let's have a look. I could have picked any of them, I could have picked Filthy Rich Vampire, that's for sure, but these are new. So let's have a look. Books that I've had for a long time, these are all quite new on the top. I think The Witch is Back is an old one. The Night She Disappeared is possibly an older one as well, but we will, I think, to be honest, The Witch is Back is probably one of my oldest, alongside Hooked. These were like the first books I bought when I got back into reading and I was buying lots of different books to try. But I think for this one, again, just because purely the time of year we're in, I'm going to go for The Witch is Back by Sophie H. Morgan. This book just says Emmeline Bluewater is determined to put life as a witch behind her. When Bastien Truenote left her with nothing but the shame of a broken marriage contract, Emma turned her back on magic and her old life. In opening her own cocktail bar, Emma has put her ex firmly in her past until Bastien walks through the door and announces that he wants her back. So, yeah, this is going to be book number 4 for a book you've had for a long time. Like I say, this is, when you see this video, I'll have had this book probably near enough a year on my TBR, so that's a long one. A long time, should I say. Dear me and my words. So, book number 5 is a book with a 2-word title. Right, let's have a look. So, we have, that's 3. A book with a 2-word title. This is a hard one. We've got The Naturals, if I can get it out. We've got The Naturals. Oh. We've got Catching Fire. Have we got any more on the back? Oh, yeah, we have. I think I'm going to pick between these. I do have a classic on there as well. It's whether I want to read a classic in October. Let's have a look. So I will show you the options that I've picked out. And they are Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. I absolutely love this film. I love the old version of it. It's one my mum introduced me to, and I just love it. It follows the story of 4 sisters. I think their dad goes off to, he's in the war, and it's just a beautiful story. And when I went to 66 Books, I managed to pick up this beautiful version of it. And yeah, this does seem like a good read for the October months. I've also got Divine Rivals. This was on my August TBR and I never got around to it. So, you know, that's also a nice one. I think this one follows Iris and Roman. And I think it involves a magical typewriter, I want to say. I don't know too much about it, but I know letters go back and forth. And I believe it's a really lovely book. I've also picked up Catching Fire because, as you will have seen in vlogs and TBR videos, I've read Sunrise on the Reaping, which is the latest book, but goes back in time. And then I have just not long finished The Hunger Games, the first book. So I wanted to read them all again. So we have Catching Fire. And then obviously, like I say, we've got The Naturals, which is good for this season as well. So that one's like a mystery. We've got a sci-fi, we've got a fantasy or a cozy fantasy. I'm not quite sure what that one's classed as. And then obviously we've got a classic, but I think actually I'm going to go with Little Women. It's just feels like the kind of book I would love to read in October, curling up with, you know, a hot cup of tea or a hot chocolate with your candles lit. Yeah, I'm definitely, I think, going for this. So a book with a 2-word title, we're choosing Little Women. So that is book number 5. So we've got 3 more books to choose. I've just left them books on the floor for now, but it doesn't mean that I won't be picking from them. We shall see. So, we have a book with a purple cover. Now, funny enough, I could have picked Little Women for that because that's got a purple cover. So, we do have The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches, which I'm really persuaded by. We've also got, obviously, Divine Rivals again, but we do have Taming 7 as well, and we have... So we've got lots of books for this one. We've got The Star and the Strange Moon. Actually, this was one I bought last year, so this is quite old as well. Like I say, we've got Taming 7 and we've got Fear the Flames, which is also purple. They're all different shades of purple. But I think, if I'm being totally honest with you, the book I really want to read is The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches by Sangu Mandana. I've recently bought her next book, so I'm hoping I enjoy this one. But yeah, it just seems a book that I would really enjoy. And it just says, Mika Moon follows 3 rules: hide your magic, keep your head down, and stay away from other witches. Mika is good at being alone, and she doesn't mind it mostly. But when she is invited to teach 3 young witches at the mysterious Nowhere House, Mika jumps at the chance for a different life as she comes to care for its quirky inhabitants. And Jamie, the handsome but prickly librarian belonging somewhere, feels like a real possibility. So yeah, that is going to be book number 6 on the TBR. So we have 2 more books to choose. Book number 7 is going to be a book, an author with more than 10 books published. To be honest, I haven't got my iPad with me right now, and I do not know how many books these authors have published. So what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to get rid of this because I don't want to cheat, but I will pop it back in the jar because obviously next time I will have my iPad with me. So we'll put that to one side for now, and we will pick another prompt. And that is a book with a colour in the title. Right. Let's just check the back. Don't think we've got any books with a colour in the title, sadly. So again, unfortunately, I'm going to have to put that to one side. I'm not going to get rid of it because obviously when we buy more books, that will always work for that prompt. So, book number 7, Third Time Lucky. Oh, a book with a cover you think is ugly. I hate this prompt. I don't know why I put it in there, to be honest, because I feel really mean when I pick these books. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go for a plain one that is maybe boring. That sounds awful as well. Let's have a look round here. Let's just have a quick look. It's really hard. It really is hard. And a lot of these books, I do like the covers on them. So, and a lot of them I would say are pretty as well. I think, I mean, some people really love the Scythe cover. I'm not so sure on that. It's really your own perspective, isn't it, I suppose, on what you find. I don't particularly like that cover neither, which is the Star and the Strange Moon. However, like I say, I bought this when I was getting into reading again, thinking I might like it. But when I look at the back of the book now, I'm not so sure. This might be one I'm going to unhaul, to be honest, at some point. I'm going to go for think I'm going to go for Scythe by Neil Shusterman. I don't know whether I'm being honest though with this. I can't work out whether I like it or I don't like it. It's not the best. Yeah, let's go for Scythe. I think I did pick another one in the end. I did find another one. However, we will go with this one because I've said it now. But yeah, this is for a book with an ugly cover. I'm not so sure it's that ugly, but it's not one of my pretty ones, shall we say. So we'll go for that one. And then the last book on the TBR for the month of October. Let's make it a good one. There were more books that I really wanted to get on this month. However, hopefully we can get them in October. And it says a sci-fi. Now, I could have picked that for that one. I don't even know if I've got any more sci-fis left on my... Oh, I have. So, for this one, I'm going to pick Catching Fire by Suzanne Collins for a sci-fi book. Like I say, this is the second book in the Hunger Games series, and I'm just trying to work my way through these ones because I've never read them. I've only ever seen the films, and I found it really interesting reading the last book. So this looks like it's going to be book number 8 on my October TBR. For our October TBR, we have, for a sci-fi book, Catching Fire by Suzanne Collins. For a book with an ugly cover, Please Don't Come For Me, we have Scythe by Neil Shusterman. Is it Shusterman? Yeah, Neil Shusterman. We then have, I can't remember the prompt for this one. Let's have a look. For a book with a purple cover, I chose The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches by Sangu Mandana. We then picked a book with a 2-word title, and I chose Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. We then have Read a Book That You've Had for a Long Time, and I chose The Witch Is Back by Sophie H. Morgan. Then we had a book with vampires or werewolves in it, and I chose The Filthy Rich Vampire. The next book was a book with a 3-word title, and I chose The Kiss Curse by Erin Sterling. And then last but not least, we chose a book with a grey cover, and that was The Songbird and the Heart of Stone by Clarissa Broadbent. Thank you so much for watching if you've got to this part in the video. This one's been a little bit longer than usual. I would love to know what's on your October TBR for spooky season. I'm not sure I'm going to get to all these books I've chose, but I'm going to give it a good go. Like I say, I've got some videos planned ahead as well. I would have liked to have got to a few more, but we will see what I can do in between as well. But again, please subscribe if you haven't down below. I really would love to see some more of you joining me for these videos. I'd love to chat with you about your, like I say, your TBRs and what's on them. And yeah, thank you so much again, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye bye.